Welcome to another episode of Make It Make Sense podcast. And I am Cammie Grayson, and you know who this beautiful lady is.
Deidre Moon.
All right, Miss Moon is in the house, and this is her show, Make It Make Sense podcast. And so, man, she's in her second season, and this is actually her second season, second episode.
Yeah, exciting.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so you know me, I always have to mess with her little titles and everything. This is Side Hustles Matter. How did you come up with that?
So, in today's economy, well, any economy really, but especially in today's economy, so many people are looking for extra income. How do I find some additional resources? Y'all know who's in the White House, and so we may have to find some other ways to make ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to share with everyone that side hustles matter. Okay.
Okay. So, listen, first of all, it's been a while. How have you been?
Okay, so as you guys know, quarter one of every year is super busy for people in my profession, tax professionals.
Mm-hmm.
And so quarter one was like so we have been away from the studio for a little bit, but we're super excited to be back.
Yay.
And I've got lots of stuff to tell you.
Some juicy stuff. Okay. Fill us in.
Okay, so we're going to just hop right in here, okay? Because I have so much to tell you guys. Okay. So earlier this week, what's today? Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so earlier this week, meaning Wednesday, I was in D.C.
Okay.
Traveling a little bit. And I attended, get ready for this.
Okay.
I attended the book launch with Tina Knowles and Michelle Obama.
Oh my gosh, you were in the house.
I was in the house with Tina Knowles and Michelle Obama.
Oh my god. Okay, so sounds like a lot of fun. What happened? What was going on?
So Tina Knowles, y'all know who she is, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Beyonce's mama.
Yeah.
And our forever first lady.
Mm-hmm.
So Tina Knowles wrote a book. And the title of the book is called Matriarch. I'm not here to promote her book. I don't work for her. But she's on her book tour. Mm-hmm. And so her very first stop was in D.C. And the person who was assisting her, kind of interviewing her, podcast style, was Michelle Obama. So, yeah, we were at the MGM Grand Casino.
Okay.
MGM Grand Casino. In their theater room. And so Tina Knowles and Michelle Obama took the stage and we just listened to them have a chat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish I would have been there. Okay, so tell us a little bit about it.
Okay. So, well, just to give y'all the backstory, I got to give you the juicy part too.
Yeah.
So they opened with a performance by Lettucey. She's an R&B singer. She did amazing. She sang a new song that she has out. Oh, I don't work for her either. I just really enjoyed the song. Okay. So she has a new song that she performed called Black Woman. It was a really powerful song. If you haven't heard it, check her out.
Okay.
So Lettucey opened the show, and then out comes Michelle Obama.
Oh my goodness.
She welcomes us all to this talk that she's going to have with Tina Knowles about her book. So the theater at the MGM Grand Casino seats 3,000 people, and it was packed.
I know it was.
The house was packed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. And so, you know me, Cammie. All of our viewers know who I am. I am an accountant and I'm a tax professional.
Right.
So here I am sitting in this room with Mama T, she calls herself, and Flotus, forever first lady. But my accountant brain is going, there are 3,000 seats in this house. And if you average ticket price around $150.
Wow.
Yeah, that's got to be 3,000 times 150 plus book sales. So her book is selling for about $25 a copy.
Okay.
So imagine 3,000 times average price for the seat of 150 plus 3,000 times 25, which is the sales price of the book. That one night gives you $525,000.
Oh my gosh, we're in the wrong business.
I need to start writing. Okay.
Oh, big time.
Well, okay, so think about it this way.
Okay.
Let's just imagine that Mama T has to report all of that money to Uncle Sam, right? Okay, so we're looking at 3,000 seats times 150. Okay, and then we're looking at 3,000 books times 25. So there's $525,000 that someone has to report. Y'all know y'all Uncle Sam wants to know about all of the money, right?
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So there's $525,000 that has to be reported by someone. So we're just going to use an example here.
Okay.
I'm not pocket watching, okay, y'all? That's how the young folks say it. They're pocket watching. I'm not pocket watching, but I'm just, my accountant brain is trying to figure this out. Okay. So we're going to pretend as if Mama T, Tina knows, Beyonce's mama, does not do well with her record keeping.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Like y'all do. Don't keep up with our receipts.
Yeah.
Just be co-mingling. Just be swiping cards every kind of which way. You know. That's what I mean. Yeah. Not
major.
Not major. And not that anybody here does. Right. Of course. But let's just assume Mama T does not manage her expenses very well. Okay. She doesn't keep up with her receipts. She swipes cards all over the place. She co-mingles. She really doesn't have a good hand on the bookkeeping side of her side hustle. Right?
Right.
Because we know that Mom T is not an author. That's not what she normally does.
Right.
She shared with us this is her first book that she's ever written. And so this is what? Ding! A side hustle.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can you imagine what her tax bill would be just on the income side? Can you imagine? Can't imagine.
Okay. This is a tour, and you think of this is one spot,
right?
And she's going from city to city. Oh my gosh!
Right. So can you imagine? So let's keep it at this one first city. Okay. So if our numbers play out, that's about $525,000 worth of income that someone has to report.
Right.
Because we know Uncle Sam wants to know about all the coins, right? Okay. We also know Mama Tina shared this. I'm not telling her business, okay? She shared that she is 71 years old, right?
Wow.
71. She looks great too. So she shared that she's 71 years old. And oftentimes, I hear this all the time, Cammie. Sometimes people who have reached over 60, over 65, they assume that maybe they don't have to pay taxes anymore because they're elderly or because they're drawing Social Security. They think they don't have to pay taxes anymore.
It doesn't stop there, does it?
It does not.
Oh, wow.
It does not. That's a misconception. People think that once they start receiving Social Security, that they don't have to file or pay taxes anymore. And you guys, that's just not right.
Oh, wow.
Under the IRS code, you have to file your tax return if you make over a certain amount. And Social Security income does matter. So I'm not saying, please don't get me wrong to say every elderly person needs to file. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am making sure I share is that you guys, all of your income matters. Social Security benefits and side hustle.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That fits in. Yeah.
Okay. So Mama Tina is 71 years old. She brought in from this one stop over $500,000, right? And when you think about it, that $500,000 isn't coming through a W-2. Okay, so you know how when you work for a company, you get a W-2, and you always are looking at your paycheck because you're like, wait a minute, I earned $2,000 this week while my check only 1,400.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Right.
Like, where the money go?
Yeah.
Well, that's because you're having withholdings, federal income tax withholding, as well as FICA. Okay, that's when you're a W-2 person. So Mama Tina, with her author activity, there is no W-2. There's no one pulling taxes on her behalf. So at the end of the year, she's more than likely going to receive what's called a 1099.
Yeah.
Similar to a W-2, but not exactly. And one of the major differences is there will have been no withholdings. So whatever her tax bill is, she got to pay that money.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she going to have to cut the check.
She's going to owe big time.
Yes.
Okay. So in other words, people need to understand, first of all, it doesn't stop. Your income tax continuously going. That's what I'm hearing.
Correct.
And then so past 70, even if you're still making money, you still have to report that. So there's no way around it.
That is not. So, you know, I jokingly say, or many people jokingly say, there are two things that are inevitable for all of us: death and taxes. And that is so true, Kimmy. I want you and all of our listeners to know that as long as you're earning income until you leave here, you may have a filing requirement. And I say it that way because may is the subjective word. Now, if you are only earning a little bit of money and you're below the filing threshold, then you don't have to file. However, we know in this economy, many of us are working first jobs, side hustles, selling chicken plates and fish plates and grass and everything else just to make the ends meet. So no matter what your age is, if you are earning income, I really encourage you to chat with a tax professional to see if you do need to file. Now, if you're like Mama Tina, bringing in $500,000 in one night, you got to file a requirement. You need to file.
Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back after these messages.
Okay.
beatsandroll.com.
Okay, if you just tuned in, you haven't tuned in too late. You tune in to Make It I can't talk. Make It Make Sense podcast, and I'm Cammie Grayson.
I'm Deidre Moon.
And man, she just had us on a roll here, and I am like going go. You know, you learn so much from this lady. I mean, these nuggets that this lady has to offer. You know, we were just kind of talking about still owing taxes after a certain age, and so now I'm going to ask her to break it down. So if I'm an average person, like a Uber driver or a hairstylist, or I work in childcare, explain to me how that works, because you know that's kind of like side hustles.
Right, indeed. So, you know, today we're talking about side hustles matter. And in the first part of the show, we spoke on a very large scale, talking a little bit about celebrities. That was fun.
That was
about
fun.
Mama Tina and Michelle Obama. But really, I want to speak to us regular folk. Regular folk.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned maybe an Uber driver or a hairstylist or even someone who works in childcare.
Mhm.
I'm sure we all know those type of people.
Right.
I'm sure we all have someone in our family who's working a side hustle, and that might be one of the categories. So I really want you guys to understand that with your side hustle, those dollars are potentially taxable. So you're thinking like,
yeah.
wait a minute. So Uncle Sam wants his taxes off me doing somebody's hair? Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
You might even be thinking, okay, well, I do hair in my kitchen. Does that matter? Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
Okay, you might be thinking, well, I kind of do the ghetto Uber where I give rides, but you know, it's not through Uber. Does that matter? Yes, ma'am. So remember, you guys, I know you guys all have heard of Al Capone, right?
Oh, yeah.
The notorious gangster mobster Al Capone, right? And when you think of his name, you think of gangster activity, mobster, liquor, Scarface, drugs, women, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, you may or may not know that Al Capone died in prison. Okay. He died in prison, but not for any of his mobster activities. He died in prison from tax evasion.
Wow.
Tax evasion, y'all.
Wow.
Okay, so what happened was, I almost sounded like what had happened was. So,
what happened was.
So Al Capone was doing all of this illegal activity. He was selling alcohol. He was robbing, shooting, killing, murdering, all of the illegal things. He never went to prison for any of that. He never went to prison for any of those activities.
Right.
He went to prison for tax evasion.
Out of all the stuff that he did, they got him on taxes.
All the liquor, all the women,
boom, boom,
all the boom, boom, booming. They
Oh,
got him on tax evasion. And so what that means, you guys, is this. When you are having income coming in, you are required to report that. You just need to report it. So yes, that means if you're braiding hair on the side, if you're driving Uber,
that's not an Uber.
That's not an Uber. Listen, Cammie, you know, you're my people, so we can keep it real. Even if you shaking a little something, you need you don't have to pay taxes on the shaking. You have to pay taxes.
Oh my goodness.
So this segment is all about the side
hustles. That's right.
No matter what you're doing, bringing more income into your household, which we all need, just report that on your income tax return. Now, here's the great part about it is that you can also deduct expenses from that income. So I know that you guys are probably like, what is this woman talking about? So we're gonna talk about somebody who might be shaking it. Okay. She's doing a little shaky out there. Okay. So, all right. So we know at some of these establishments, people, men and women, might throw dollars on the stage, correct? Correct. They might. And these young women, sometimes men, they will pick those dollars up and tuck them anywhere, right? Okay. So at the end of the night, when they're done with their shift, because they work a shift just like an Uber driver, a hairstylist, they work a shift. They go home for the night and they count out all of those dollars that were stuck in various places. Yes. Okay. All right. Now let's say in one shift they bring home $1,000. Some of them do. I mean, it's a big industry. So if they bring in $1,000, I am telling you, yes, Uncle Sam wants you to report that $1,000. Uncle Sam wants you to report it. I know you're feeling like, listen,
we had all this work I'm doing. You taking everything.
My feet hurt from these stilettos. You know, dental floss out here. You know, and Uncle Sam wants to know about it. Yes, Diamond. Uncle Sam wants to know about it. Okay. But here's the great thing. You have to report the income, but you can also deduct the expenses.
Okay.
Okay, so imagine those
I was
stilettos.
about to say what
Right,
is.
right.
I'm
Those
trying to figure it out.
stilettos. You're trying to figure it out, baby. Stop. Okay, those stilettos may have cost $100,
Okay.
right? The dental floss,
The dental floss,
may
wild
have,
shape.
may have cost $200, and you may have a couple of those because you may change during your set.
Okay.
So let's say your outfits cost you $300, okay? And oftentimes you want to create an illusion, so you need a nice long bust down wig. Ain't that what they call it now? They call it the bust down. Okay. And those wigs are not cheap. So that may have been $400.
Okay.
And you had to get your makeup done, and that may have been $100. So now that $1,000 you earn can be reduced by your expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like I just counted out maybe $700-800 worth of expenses.
Right.
So that $100 is really only a profit of $200, and Uncle Sam gets about 15.3% of that. Wow. So you report the $200 on your tax return, you pay Uncle Sam his $45, and you live to dance another day.
No. But still, after breaking it down that way, I really didn't make much.
That's correct. That's correct. So why be afraid of reporting it?
Yeah.
And I think, Kimmy, where people run into trouble is they're just looking at the income side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want to tell Uncle Sam I made $1,000 in one night, or if you're Mama Tina, $525,000 in one night. But there are expenses as well.
Yeah.
So you do get to deduct your expenses. Now, here's where you're going to get in trouble, Cammie. If you're not managing those expenses well, if you're not keeping up with them, if you're swiping all over the place. So one of my biggest suggestions to anyone working a side hustle is to have a separate bank account.
Okay.
Now, people may hear, oh, she told me go get a business bank account. That's not exactly what I said. I said a separate bank account. You just want to have a separate bank account where you can manage your income and your expenses. So legit, if you are out there shaking it and you earn $1,000 a night in $1 bills, take them to the bank. Make the deposit and then swipe that debit card for your.
Let me get that dollar for you.
Yes. Let me get that. We all need a side hustle, so I like to dance as well.
I can tell that.
Exactly. So, you guys, my biggest thing that I want you to take away from this session is side hustles matter.
Yeah.
That income should be reported on your federal income tax, but you can also deduct your expenses. Now, to deduct the expenses, you do want to keep up with those expenses.
Exactly.
Stop commingling, you guys. Stop swiping cards all over the place. Get one account where you can manage your income coming in and your expenses going out.
Okay.
Now, I do want to mention that if you don't do a good job with managing your receipts, my firm will help you with that. We will. We're going to ask you some probing questions. We're going to ask you to go find some receipts for us. We're going to help you, but we charge for that service.
Hello?
We do charge for
Can't
that.
get it for free.
Mama gotta eat too.
That's
Mama
right.
gotta eat.
That's right.
But we really work hard to encourage you guys to do it yourself up front. Number one, that will make it so much easier for you in the long run and us. But then also, you really want to not wait until tax time to do this stuff. I have so many clients who come to my firm for taxes at the first of the year, and they've done nothing the whole prior year. Y'all bring me bags and bags of receipts with
bags and bags.
Real funny story. So this was several years ago. A client came into my office, which is by Lynn Haven Mall by chance. Come on and see us. So he came into my office and he said, I've got all my receipts for you. And my immediate thought was, oh, okay. Let me have them. Cammie, this young man pulled out 12 Crown Royal purple bags.
No.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know what a Crown Royal bag is,
How do I have anything?
it's where some of them buy bottles of spirits. We'll open it like that. Bottles of spirits. It comes in a purple bag with a drawstring. And so his idea of bookkeeping was, well, if I put all of my January receipts in one bag, all of my February receipts in one bag, all of my March receipts in one bag, I have done my due diligence.
Lord have mercy.
Now, I did thank him for that. I did thank him for doing that much.
Yeah, at least they were separated.
But you guys, we really don't want you bringing 12 Crown Royal bags into the office. See us year round. Don't wait for tax time. Talk to us any day of the year and we can get you set up with a better system.
Yeah. Wow.
Now, I didn't ask him who drank all that Crown Royal.
You didn't have to. You have one bag for every month.
Exactly.
So that's amazing. Okay, so we have learned so much today, and we've learned a whole lot about the side hustles. Right. And so my biggest takeaway is make sure you report everything.
Indeed.
Make sure you report everything because you don't want Uncle Sam to be knocking on your door.
And you be the next Al Capone.
Yeah.
He
died in prison.
He died in prison. So
evasion.
Exactly. It's the thing. And sometimes people think Wesley Snipes, so many celebrities. Wow, so a lot of times people think, well, I'm a small guy. He won't come after me. Yes, he will, because the small guys don't have legal power behind them. Mm-hmm. The small guys usually can't defend themselves. Right. So, yes, he will come after you. Yeah. So, before we wrap up, Cammie, if I could, I want to share with our listeners that we, the Moon Group, have a couple of events coming up. Okay. So I know that this is just a little bit of information. Well, it's a lot of information in a short period of time. So we are hosting a game night in May. This month, yeah. May 16th at our office near Lynnhaven Mall. And this one, you guys, it's a free event. We just want you to come out, meet us, get to know us, enjoy a game night with us. We'll have some food and some refreshments, and it's just an opportunity to play some games and get to know the Moon Group.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
In a fun way.
Yeah, okay? I love it.
And then in June, we are actually having a small business mid-year checkup. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so what that means is in our office near Lynnhaven Mall, this one does require a fee. It is $75, but you're gonna have 6 different stations that you can visit to make sure that you are in order for Uncle Sam and to learn new things that will help us grow. For example, so many people come to me and say, well, how do I really pay myself? I'm actually making some money in my business. How do I pay myself? We'll have a station there for you to get all that information.
Yeah.
We'll also have a station for, can I hire my kids? Because that's a great strategy to help you reduce your tax liability legally. So we'll have a station all about how do you hire your kids. We'll have a station just to make sure you are structured properly. Because listen, y'all be watching TikToks.
Y'all be ticking your talks.
Y'all be watching TikToks, y'all be dancing, and y'all be getting y'all tax advice from TikToks. And I don't want y'all to do that.
No. Not the tax advice.
Right. No, not to discount any professional who is on TikTok giving good advice. But my concern is that you may not know if that advice applies to you
or your state.
and how to properly apply it. So we really want you guys to come out to our June event. I'll make sure I leave some information here with Cammie. Come on out, visit the stations, get the information you need to know so that you can make sure you're in compliance with Uncle Sam.
That's right. I love it. Guys, so she's putting all this information in one room for a small fee.
Mm-hmm.
And so
a small tax deductible fee.
There you go.
Tax deductible.
There you go. Mm-hmm. That's right. I love it. I love it, Deidre. So she's always coming up with like all these cool things to help. You got to understand, people don't help one another. It's just not there anymore. And so when you do see a legitimate person, an honest person, a person who really do care, you're looking at one right now. I mean, so you need to take advantage of it. I mean, not in a negative way. I mean, take advantage in a positive way, because you don't see these nuggets every day.
Right.
You don't, especially in one place. Now, you just said like 3 things that a lot of people I know, because I work with small businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't know this.
Right.
They don't know this.
Right.
The same stuff that Retail Alliance, who works with small businesses, have events and they charge for these events. Well, here's someone who's charging like way less, and she hand pick what you guys need,
right,
from what she does. So this is a not to miss event. I love it.
Thank you.
Love it.
Thank
you yes,
much.
We will most definitely share the information on our social platform, because you need to come. You need to come. $75 is worth your business. Isn't your business worth it? You have to invest in your business.
Absolutely. And it's tax deductible. So in May, I'm inviting you to come out, eat some food, drink some soft beverages for free for a game night. And then June, we get to work, because the second half of the year is coming up and we want you to be straight.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Deidre, first of all, before we go, I mean, that was your before you go. This is my before we go. Okay, you got a lot of stuff going on, lady. You do. You have this fitness thing going on. I love that. I just enjoy you. I really do. You just make my spirit humble. I just really do enjoy you.
Well, and thank you. Can I do a shameless plug on that one? Okay. Okay, you guys, I know this is all about taxes and accounting, but there's another side of Deidre Moon.
Yes, it is. Yes,
so,
it is.
For those of you who may not know, my backstory is I became really ill in 2020 and spent 7 months in the hospital. Yes. I was hospitalized for 7 months. And so since that time, I've been having to use a wheelchair and a walker for mobility. So I can't just get up and walk out the door. Mm-hmm. Trust me, when the camera goes off here, my husband's going to wheel the wheelchair in here. So my thought was, okay, I'm confined to a wheelchair for now because I am going to get better. Mm-hmm. But what can I do to help myself continue with my recovery? So last fall, I went and became a Chair 1 certified fitness instructor. Yay! Love it. So every other Saturday, I offer chair fitness classes. And you might be thinking, okay, what's chair fitness? Well, we just sit in the chair and we go through some aerobics. We do upper body, we do lower body, we do abs, because it's almost summertime, mm-hmm. trying to get them abs right. Mm-hmm. And we just spend about 45 minutes every other Saturday just moving our body, getting that blood circulating, right. And just helping us sit and get fit. I love it. My very first in-person one was at a local church here in the Hampton Roads area. And honestly, you guys, I didn't expect anybody to show up. I didn't want to hype myself up to be disappointed. Mm-hmm. So I expected it to be me and my husband, because he had to wheel me in, so he was going to have to sit there. Cammie, it was a packed house. Mm-hmm. It was a packed house, and I've heard from the church since then inviting me back because all of the participants were super happy. Oh, wow. One of the participants even said, I wasn't expecting to sweat like this. So I was pretty happy about that. And we got a good workout in the chair. So you can absolutely sit and get fit with Deidre every other Saturday. And just so you know, we do a different theme every other Saturday. So we had 80s music.
Oh, wow.
We've had 60s music. We've had 90s music. And we've even had trap music.
Okay. I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
So you got that. See, that's what I'm saying. This lady is she's phenomenal. Okay.
Thank you.
Now we know you've been working on a project for a long, long time. Tell us about that.
Okay, so you guys, this fall, you will be able to purchase my very first book. My very first book. So, of course, it's going to be a guide for small business owners, but it's going to be a fun read, but you're going to learn a lot.
I love it.
And because I am a child of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, there'll be some surprises in there to kind of help to kind of put you back down memory lane and then bring you current. So it's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. I've been working on it for a while, but this fall it's coming.
I love it. I love it. So I would love to invite you right now for Girl Talk. And we need to talk about the book and
that'd be great.
All that. So we're going to make it happen.
Okay. Now, if you can sell out the arena and sell all the copies and get me $500,000 like Mama T,
girl,
that would be great.
Girl, the family had to chase me down.
You and me too.
Okay, guys, this wraps up another show of Make It Make Sense podcast with Deidre in the Moon Group. And we just love you guys. We really, really do. And thank you for letting us be a part of your show because, we look forward to that first Saturday of the month show. It's kind of like, we know we're going to learn something. We're going to have some fun. Look at my cheeks. I'm always smiling and laughing when I'm on show with her. So I really enjoy it. I really do. So you guys contact the Moon Group. She's on our social media. Go find her, Deidre Moon, the Moon Group. That's how you really need to type in is the Moon Group and Make It Sense podcast. And I wanted to say one last thing. Our podcasts are copywritten. Our shows are copywritten. Our names are copywritten. And if we see anything, we're going to ask you to stop. We're going to ask you to cease. And then we're going to come after you. So I just want you to know SKST Radio Network does not play. So please, please be unique. Do your show. We want to help you. We just want to get paid for our work. We don't mind helping. We just want to get paid for our work. But if you chose to take something away from our program, we're going to come after you. And I just wanted to add that. I'm going to do that on all shows. We're going to put that disclosure at the end of our shows because it's getting ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, we will use a cease and desist.
There you go. So we're going to make that happen. All right, guys. Until next time, right here at SKST Radio, make it happen.
Bye.